Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So welcome to Poke Crossings, and I'm Charlotte, and today I'm going to talk you through balloon farming. So if you're liking the content guys, don't forget to hit like, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the video. Cool, so farming balloons guys can be a really useful tool for getting more furniture, more crafting, more like crafting materials, and also bells as well. Like I had a balloon the other day that I think got like 10,000 bells in, which was pretty cool. So before you can start farming balloons, you first need to understand what wind pattern you have for your island. So there is two patterns that you can have, and these are randomly assigned at the very start when you first create your island. So you can't do anything to change it. It is what it is. You just need to work out which one you're on, and then you can go from there. So pattern number one is you get a northwesterly wind during the day, and then that then switches to a northeasterly wind in the evening. And then pattern two is the opposite, where you get like a northeasterly wind through the day, and then at night time it switches to a northwesterly wind. So you just need to work out which pattern you're on, and then that'll help you to work out where the balloons are coming from. So I'm on pattern two. Through the day, like we're on now, my balloons, or my wind, is northeasterly, so it comes from this side of my map that I'm on now, and it goes across my island kind of like this, and then in the night it flips. So if I'm farming balloons like I'm going to be doing today for you guys, I need to be hanging about on this side of my island, because this is where the balloons are first going to come in from, and I'll have a really good chance of getting them pretty early on as soon as they enter the map. So all you're going to do is you're just going to be like wandering up and down, or running up and down, whichever you prefer, down that side of your island where the balloons are going to first spawn. Now whenever you're spawning balloons, you are fishing. Whenever you're gathering balloons, you need to play with your sound up, because what will happen is as the balloons enter in the map, you'll hear like it's almost like a swoosh sound, like swoosh, like that, and that's where you can kind of hear that the balloon's coming. As you hear that sound, you just want to push your Joy-Con up and see if you can see that balloon. Now until you hear that, it's just really a case of running up and down this edge of your map, and then that way you can keep an eye on what's going on from where. The wind pattern changes along with like the evening bug spawn, which is at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is when it's officially kind of night time, if you like. So at 7 o'clock, that is when your wind will switch. So it's like I said, just running up and down this beach until you hear a balloon come in. Now there's a few different factors that I've kind of noticed as I've been playing that affect how quickly or how much you get balloons spawning. The first one is definitely the wind, like how strong the wind is. So you can see on my island today it's pretty still. We've got some clouds, but for the most part the wind is pretty still. Some days it's a lot windier to the point like you stand and you can like see all the trees bristling around, your clothes bristling, and I find on those days the balloons start to come in a lot quicker than what they're coming in today. So if you listen, you can kind of hear that like swooshing noise. So just make sure you get your slingshot attached, and then obviously you can pop it down. Now the key with this is just to make sure you're not over a body of water or anything like that. Pop it, and then you can pick it up, and then you just carry on. So on days like this, I find the balloons tend to kind of spawn once every 10 minutes ish. They definitely spawn much more like I said, when it's windy. And also events as well, that's what I tend to find, like for example Bunny Day. We all know the balloons are spawning like every 3 minutes, so it was absolute stir crazy. The 2-4. Done you a solid? What's Shari turned into a gangster? Thanks, Shari. Alright, yeah, so like for the Bunny Day event, we had absolute tons of balloons, and it was like almost got to the point that it wasn't even fun kind of popping them anymore. Now, but like I said, balloon farming's one really good because you get loads of different stuff. You get furniture items, clothing items, you get, what the heck is that? I've never known a game with so many variations of toilets. You also get like crafting stuff like clay, iron, things like that. But also, once you hit your 300th balloon, that when you'll see the next one actually comes down on like a golden balloon, and that is your golden slingshot recipe. Oh, I like it. Oh, that's my favourite catchphrase. So yeah, once you've got that 300, you get a golden balloon, and in that is the DIY recipe for the golden slingshot, which is this one here, and that allows you to shoot down more balloons before it breaks, like it lasts a lot longer. So it's worth doing, but equally so you don't want to miss it. So the best way to kind of keep track of it, especially if you're pretty close and that's why you're farming balloons, is if you go into your Nook Miles and you scroll down like this, there is one of these that is called Raining Treasure, I think. There. And as you click on this, as you're working your way up towards the 300, it'll actually come up with a little notice telling you how many balloons you've popped and how close you are to getting the next kind of goal. So I kept an eye on that, and then I knew when I was kind of around 290, I kept an extra slingshot on me so that I didn't miss the golden one. I always had like an extra slingshot in case it broke and then the kind of golden one came along. So yeah, that is the best, absolute best way of farming balloons, and it's a really good way to get extra, especially if you're quite early in the game and you're after like loads of iron and stuff. You can quite often get like a stack of iron from the balloons, so it's definitely worth farming and keeping an eye out and listening for that swoosh noise. The last thing I'm going to say before I end this video is, for example, if I'm over here and I pop a balloon, if it falls on a space that is like occupied, it kind of bounces across to the next one. But here, where all my flowers are quite densely kind of planted, it actually disappears. I think it's like a little bit of a glitch because it's not got an empty space to bounce to. It's a little bit like when you shake a fruit tree and there's stuff in all the spaces around it. Sometimes one of the fruit might disappear. It's exactly the same process. So if I'm here and like the balloon's above me, I normally just wait a little bit extra until it's kind of over this path or over this kind of blank area here before I then shoot it down, just to make sure that it's not kind of just like glitching out and disappearing. Same as if you hit it while it's over the water, it falls into the water. And sometimes, not all the time, that same glitch will happen if you hit it over a rock. So these bigger rocks that you can stand on, it doesn't do it, but if I did it and it kind of fell on that upper rock there that I can't quite get to, that's the point that it then again would glitch and I wouldn't be able to pick up the parcel. It just kind of like disappears. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. So I hope you found it useful, guys. Give it a go. Let me know which wind pattern you're on. Is there a more common one? Are you on the first wind pattern or are you on number 2 like I am? Let me know in the comments, and as always, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep pushing and growing this channel. I hope you found the video useful, guys, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!